Hey everybody, in this video what we're going to do is continue building our infrastructure with Terraform. At this point what I want to do is I just want to run a Terraform apply. So let's run a Terraform plan and we should be good to go. We just ran it in the last video. 22 to add, there we go, looks good. So we'll just do a Terraform apply. And I think we can just do auto approve. Let's see if that works. This should not then prompt us to say yes. Yeah, there it goes. It's just building it. So, okay. So there it is. So at this point, our new VPC should be created. Now I'm logged out. Okay, let me log back in there. So what we'll do is I will just go back to AWS here and we'll just go to our infrastructure account. So I'm just going to click here. This is using granted to get in and it's just going to open this back up. And if we go back here, we should now be able to reload this because it's opening it in this same browser. Alright, so there we go. So we've got our VPC created. Oh, Chris Org, prod VPC, and we have our subnets created. Bunch of subnets, private, public. Let's see about our route tables. So we've got route tables. They don't have names, so we did not tag them. Probably should tag them. Yeah, I forgot the tags. I should add those in to each one of these. Let's do that right now. That's a simple thing we can do. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to go back up to the public route, which is right here. And we'll just add our tags. Ooh, we actually got an error. So we got an error with that route with the transit gateway because it does not know about that. Alright, so we'll have to fix that. But let's just do our tags here. Tags equals, and we're just going to do a name. And again, we're just going to use $var.basename dash public dash RT. Okay, so that's the public one. What we'll do is let's just copy this. Let's copy this. And we'll go to our private data. Hit enter. Tab over, Control V. And this will be private data route table. And then we'll just go to our last one. Private app. Yep, there we go. So this one's going to be slightly different. var dash public. Let's see. So this should be private app RT And then I'm going to put a dash $, because this is a for each, we're going to do an each dot value IDX, the index. That should be good for that one. Okay. So it did not like, what did it not like? So it says that that does not exist. The gateway ID does not exist. So let's see. So if we go to transit gateways, the gateway ID does not exist. So it does look as though it exists. So I'm not sure what is going on there. He knows about it. Well, let's try it. Let's try Terraform plan again. Okay, so what happened here? So we got a typo. I'm pretty sure, yep, I did not put equals, and that's going to be a problem everywhere here. Equals, and on the last one. Okay, equals, Control S, Terraform plan. So it did not like the gateway ID. Okay, so I know what I did wrong. So this should not be gateway ID, this should be a transit. It should be transit gateway. So transit and gateway ID instead of gateway ID. So that's the problem. Each of those routes, that should be transit. I didn't think I had to make sure. I mean, as long as the gateway is there, it should work. Transit gateway ID, transit gateway ID. There should be one more. Transit gateway ID, and that one. Okay, so that's a typo there. So Control S. Let's run this again. So you can see right there it says 4 to destroy, 10 to add, 4 to destroy. Let's see what's going to destroy. These route tables. See, it doesn't like it because these route tables are messed up, right? This CIDR block wasn't correct. So it's going to destroy that route table and recreate it. That's fine. I'm fine with that. Just make sure you are fine whenever it says destroy, because if not, it'll destroy something that you need. All right, so it's creating the route table. Let's go back up to your VPCs. So we have a VPC. We have our subnets. We have our route tables. And then here you can see they actually have names. So we have our private app route table 2, private app route table 1, private data, and our public. So let's take a look at the routes in here. So the routes on the public. So it's not done yet, actually. See, it's still running. You can see that right there. But on the public, we expect it to point to the internet gateway. And it doesn't quite yet, so it's still building this out. So we gotta wait for this to finish. Let's take a look at a different one, because it looks like that's the only one that's not built out. So private data, routes. So again, not updated yet. Okay, so this is taking a little bit of time, and it may be because we had to delete those route tables and recreate them. So that might be part of the problem here. So let's look. Anything yet? Still. So that's taking, it's still going. Let's just wait for that to finish. Let's see if it created the internet gateway. So there's the internet gateway. It's attached to our VPC. Wait, is it? Did it even create the internet gateway? Yeah, that's right. Wait, 789E. Is that correct? Oh yeah, that is right. 789E. So subnets. Yep, 789E. There they are. So just waiting for the route tables to finish up being built. We've got our internet gateways. Let's look at NAT gateways. There they are. And you can see that they are associated. AZ1, AZ2. Let's confirm that that is correct. Well, let's see. These subnets should be AZ1, AZ2. That looks good. So they are correctly identified there. So this is still building out the route tables. So this may fail. I'm not sure if it will or won't, but it's taking quite a bit of time. And it may just be, like I said, that it had to delete those route tables that were partially built and recreate them. Okay, so our next step, though, once this is working, we'll probably destroy this infrastructure, but the next step is going to be getting into our resource shares. And so that's going to involve Resource Access Manager. Let me show you that product. So RAM. So Resource Access Manager. Let's open link. And this is where we're going to share out resources to other accounts in our organization. All right, so we did get an error. So it's still giving me this transit gateway ID does not exist, which is odd. It does. It definitely does. So this may have been. Let me run a Terraform. Plan. Let's run a plan and let's just see what it is showing us at this point. So it's still saying 10 to add, 0 to destroy. I did save it. Let's just make sure. So it's saying TGW, Transit Gateway ID, TGW, yep. Gateway ID, IGW, yep. All right, so let's try that again. Let's try to push that again. See if it works here, because maybe it just is in a spot where it cannot delete those objects. So my route tables, just trying to figure out if I missed something here, or let's think about this. See if there's anything else that this could be. So it knew the transit gateway, right? So it has var transit gateway ID. So that's the route 10.2.10, 10.2.10. Let me double check the third one. Transit gateway ID. That is correct. So that all looks right. Let's take a look at our subnets. I wonder if this may be because I don't have any routes to that site, or if it just doesn't allow me to add that route in here. I can try to manually do that and see what happens, but my route tables, so I've got them right here. Let's take a look. Routes. So what if I edit the route? Add route 10.250.0.0/16, and I'd go for my transit gateway. It's not finding a transit gateway. That's odd. Why is it not finding a transit gateway here? Well, that would certainly be the problem. All right, so let's figure out what's going on. Let's go down to our transit gateway. So that's definitely created. Oh, so, okay. So I probably need a transit gateway attachment. Ah, yes, yes, yes. So that's what I think I missed here. So we just need a transit gateway attachment. So when I manually created the transit gateway, I forgot to create the transit gateway attachment. Let's do that at this point. And so transit, so this would be Chris org VPC -TGA VPC DNS support, and then we're going to pick our VPC, Well, let me double check that I don't do this. I think I do have the actual configuration to do this in Terraform. Let me just double check that. I think I should. Let me just pause for a moment while I take a look at this. Okay, so here, yeah, that's the problem. I did not yet create the transit gateway attachment. That has to happen before I can add this. So let's do that. Let's do a transit gateway attachment. So the scenario here is that the transit gateway already exists and has been used, but we have to create an attachment for our new connection, our new VPC, EC2 transit gateway. So you can create a transit gateway here too, but we're not doing that in this video, this video series. But what we're going to do is a transit gateway. It's spelled wrong. Let's do this. Let's spell it right. Gateway VPC attachment. That's what we want. So, and we'll call this infra. And let's go into this. So what we want to do here is do our subnet IDs. So we need subnet IDs for this. So this is also kind of odd, but what we'll do is we'll actually define AWS subnet dot private app private dash app dash subnet, and then private app sub dash AZ1. So that's going to give us our first one, dot ID, because you need to define them. As you saw when I started to go in there, you need to define them like this. AWS subnet dot private dash app dash subnet, and again private, let me make sure this is right, app sub dash AZ2 and then come out of there and just do ID. Whoops. Dot ID. Okay. So that's the subnet IDs for the let me get back in there. Subnet IDs. Okay, so then we need the transit gateway ID, which is right here. Transit gateway ID, which we know is the var dot var dot transit gateway ID. That's right. And our VPC ID, which we know is VPC is AWS underscore VPC main VPC dot ID. There we go. So this now should be enough to get us moving forward. So yeah, if we don't have that, it's not going to work, as we just found out. So tags name, we'll give it a name, equals And then dollar, nope, this is not right. Dollar var dot base name, move that out. And this we'll call just dash TGA. So that's what we need. We need to make sure we add this transit gateway attachment. So if I got that right, which there is, that's a lot of typing there. So let's Terraform plan this. I did save it before. So 11 to add. So now I think that this should work and get us this transit gateway attachment, which will then allow us to route to it. Before that, and if it doesn't create that gateway attachment, then it can't create those routes. So I think that was the issue that we were seeing. So did it create this attachment? Yeah, it's working on it. So it's still in pending state. So this could take a little bit of time, because it's going to wait for this before it does the rest of the route tables. Yeah, you can see that. That's the only route, the default one. Let's see, did it do some, looks like it finished some of that. Yeah, there. So there you got the NAT set up. So yeah, that was the issue. So it was able to put the NAT in there. It did not yet add the other route. So it's still waiting to create that last route, that route to the transit gateway, because it has to wait for this to be created, this transit gateway attachment. So you got your transit gateway attachments. That's in pending state. Is it? Oh, it's now available. Good. So, oh, it's done. See, complete it. Now, so let's go back and take a look at our route tables. This is what we were attempting to do here. And our route table. So I just see the 10200. I don't see the other one. So it doesn't look like it created the... Is that possible? Let me just refresh this. Okay. 2 subnets. Those are associated. And let's see if we see the routes. Yeah, there they are. Okay. So now it's working. It did complete correctly. So this is the public route table. Public route table, everything should go out the IGW. 10.200, 16 is local. This is a made up subnet. Pretend it's on premises. And our private data should be just the default route plus our made up route. Let's make sure that that looks right. And that's what we see. And you can see this is set to both of the private subnets, both of the public subnets, private data, sorry. And the private app ones are separate. And the reason they are is because if you look at this, this one's going to NAT 5749. And this one is going to NAT 42C2. So different NAT gateway. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to take this down. Terraform destroy, auto approve. So we built, that's pretty much what we want to build. We've got the route tables, we've got everything else. So everything's set up in here. The only thing we built by hand was the transit gateway, and that was just under the assumption that it was already there. If it wasn't, we could build it in here, and it would probably be, you know, it's just another line in here, another resource, the transit gateway with the VPC. No, just a transit gateway. And you can look on let's see, in the Terraform documentation right here, if you wanted to create something like a transit gateway, we could look in here, do transit. Let me say, not now. Oh, here we go. Transit gateway. Let's see if it finds that. Or AWS or transit gateway attachments. That's interesting. So HashiCorp Cloud Platform. Let's see. So we just want to find AWS, really. AWS module. Go there. Let me just go here. Google AWS Terraform Transit Gateway. Sometimes it's just easier to do this. Ah, there it is, AWS. So here's the actual example right here. So keep creating a transit gateway, super simple. That's all you need to do. Not much to it. So we would just add that in if we wanted to create a transit gateway, but it's still destroying everything. You can see if we refresh, yep, everything's going away. The VPC is gone and almost everything else is. So thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And please join me in the next video where we start sharing out this to our production environment. Thanks.